Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast with Core for Complete Fitness. Your episode is starting in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you guys. Hopefully you're having a great week. Hopefully you guys had a great Father's Day last weekend. And we got a good one for you today to help you get over the hump of the post-holiday guilt and bloat today. So if you're feeling puffy, make sure you tune in today. Before I get going, guys, like always, if you could please subscribe to this podcast, share it with friends, family, if you know it could help somebody. And whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Audible, Spotify, iTunes, anything like that, there's a little subscribe button, and if you press it, you will get alerted right when we drop a new podcast for you every single week, so you don't have to keep searching through all your downloads and all that sort of stuff. Now, today, I'm by myself today. Evan's on vacation up north, so you're getting one of the old school classics right here. But post Father's Day, guys, or post any holiday, what people normally do is they have a day of eating and drinking or have a meal that they shouldn't have had or that's normally not on their diet, let's say. And they get on the scale and they go, oh my gosh, I gained 2 pounds or I gained 3 pounds. I undid all this progress and all this positive momentum that I was doing. I gained it all back and now I'm right back to where I was and I have to work twice as hard to get this off. And I'm here to tell you exactly how to correct this. Now, it is really, really hard to gain a pure 2 to 3 pounds of fat in one day. There's about 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. So you have to think, in order to gain 2 pounds, I have to have about 7,000 calories. In order to gain 3, I need about almost 10,000 calories of just pure eating with no movement to gain these pounds that quickly. So if you think you gained a whole bunch of fat overnight, you did it. So that's the good news. But usually what happens after a holiday or when we're eating kind of off of our normal plan, maybe you had too many carbs, maybe you had too much sugar. Those are things 1A and 1B that tend to make you hold on to water inside your body. You guys will notice if you have a day that's off kilter where you're not eating clean, you know, hop in the shower, you get on the scale and maybe the scale went up a little bit or you look and you just feel bloated and kind of puffy and gross. Didn't gain a bunch of fat, but what's obviously probably happening is you're holding on to a whole bunch of water inside your body from overeating the carbs and too much sugar. Now, when that happens, you get squishy, you get bloated, you get this guilt feeling, and people tend to want to reverse this as quickly as possible. So instead of just getting right back on track the next day, doing what they normally do, they go, I want to eliminate this feeling as quickly as possible. So I'm going to starve myself the next day. I'm going to eat some crap that I don't want to eat. And I'm here to tell you, you have to get right back on the horse and do what you were normally doing. Now, my go-to thing, guys, for Father's Day, for me, we went to my dad's in the morning. We had brunch, had a couple mimosas. I had hockey last night, had a couple drinks with the fellas. And skated it all off, worked out this morning. And today my focus have been just drink water. Water, water, water. So a lot of us, it seems, you know, like it's going to counter itself out where you're like, okay, if I'm holding on to water, why would I want to drink more water? Because I'll just hold on to more of it, right? But it doesn't work that way. You have to flush the water out of your system from going pee and going to the bathroom. And the way that you get that water out of your system and out of your body and that poofy feeling is you have to get rid of it, guys. And the only way to do that is by drinking water. So the day after a holiday or the day after you get back from a vacation or you're not eating as squeaky clean as you can, the next day, my plan A is focus on water, water, water. I'll slam 2 glasses in the morning. I'll have, some coffee just to kind of get me going. And then the rest of the day, pretty much, it's water, 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 water around the clock. You might have to run to the bathroom a little bit more. Remember, your body's holding on to some water. That's a normal response, but that means you're starting to flush that water retention out of your system. What you don't want to do is go, I'm not going to drink anything. You're feeling groggy from the day before, you're feeling lethargic from the food that you ate, and you're going caffeine, caffeine, caffeine. You don't want to do that. Make sure that you're super hydrating the next day to help flush out all that water retention from your system. Now, thing number 2 to complete. Once you go, okay, I know I got to hydrate like crazy. Thing number 2 is you want to keep your body moving. Again, you might feel sluggish, you might feel exhausted, you might feel tired. and your body's going, yeah, but I just want to take a chill pill. Last night got a little bit wild. Ignore that feeling and make sure that you go break a sweat. It can be a workout, you can go for a walk outside, but some kind of activity where you're going to perspirate a little bit, right? The way we get rid of water, you can go to the bathroom or you can sweat it out of you. And that's part number 2. So get a workout in. It might not be your best workout. That's absolutely fine. But you want to make sure that you're doing something to rev your metabolism back up, get rid of all that gunky feeling, that crappy feeling, that lethargic feeling. And that's going to make you feel 10 times better. It's going to put you in a better mind state, right? We don't like when we jump on the scale and we're up 2 or 3 pounds. We get this defeated feeling. We get this feeling of, oh my gosh, I messed up. But if you can start with those little things, put your one foot in front of the other, all of a sudden you start making progress. Now, we got thing 1 covered. Hydration, drink water. Number 2, make sure you get in a workout. Number 3, whatever your eating plan is or whatever you usually do, let's say Monday through Friday, get right back on track with that, or Monday through Saturday, or whatever kind of your split is as far as your meals, is get right back on it. What you don't want to do, if you had a system that was working for you, let's say 9 times out of 10, right? It's dialed in, you know that it's working, your energy levels are good, you're seeing results, and then you have one day that you go, hey, I went off the wagon, I had a holiday, or we had a graduation party, whatever that thing is. People tend to blow up what was working 9 times out of 10 and reinvent the wheel when you don't have to do that. You'll get temporary success yet, but you want to think long term. Is this going to help me out, or am I going to have to re-blow this up to get right back on track again? What you don't want to do is constantly build it up, tear it down, build it up, tear it down, build it up, tear it down. It's exhausting for you. It's exhausting mentally. It's exhausting on your body. So if you're that person that's kind of just ping-ponging over and over again, we said it on this podcast before, where the results get made and that sweet spot is in between that ping-ponging, right? Right in that gray area is where you want to kind of sit, where you're happy. Again, your energy levels are good. You're not having to constantly cut and then, binge and then cut and then binge. You want to go, I found this formula to kind of keep me progressing forward. So right back on the diet. Now, the next day, guys, or the following week, depending how things went for you, I always recommend for people, especially if you had, with us, we had some pasta salad. We had some like muffins and things like that. Usually stuff that's out of my diet plan. So the next day, I'm not going to continue to eat that, right? Especially if that's going to make you hold on to water. So the next day, focus on lean proteins, whether it's eggs in the morning, whether it's a protein shake, whether it's some chicken and broccoli and a little bit of rice per night. I'm not saying eliminate all carbohydrates, but keep them nice and low so that way your body still doesn't hold on to that water, right? We got a lot of carbs and sugar in maybe the night before or the day before. So the next day, we want to kind of counterbalance that with focusing on lean protein and eliminating kind of that filler stuff. Now, on a day-to-day, guys, it's what we do repeatedly that gives us long-term results, right? If you're somebody that goes, and I'll give you an example. We got a road trip coming up next week, and we got the kids in the car. We're going to be driving from Michigan basically all the way to Florida, and we're going to have to take some pit stops along the way. We're going to pack some food in the car so we don't have to stop all the time for the kids and things like that. But like for dinner, we're probably going to have to stop somewhere, and I want to say we're not going to eat something bad, but it depends on, where we are, the destination, and what city that we're in. But I know that one meal is not going to ruin my long-term progress. However, if it's something that you do over and over and over habitually, that's where you get into trouble, guys. Just like if you go, okay, Saturdays or Friday is like pizza night with the family or whatever night with the family. That's my one time where we can kind of bond together. We share a meal together, something that isn't on our diet plan. If that's kind of worked into your day-to-day or week-to-week routine, then that's perfectly acceptable, right? But if you have pizza night every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, this is completely sabotaging all my results. So if it's one thing like Father's Day, or it was a graduation party, or you had a wedding to go to, celebrate that occasion, right? That's the purpose of being a healthy individual, is so you can live a little bit and enjoy those occasions that come up. But what you don't want to do is turn every single day into a party. That's where you get off a track, guys. So if it's one day that you go, hey, the wheels kind of fell off a little bit. That's life. That's going to happen. There's going to be more times like that, but it's what you do in between the lines that's going to give you the long-term progress and long-term results. There was years and years and years ago, if you guys remember, Starbucks came out with like one of those mega sugar drinks. It was like a unicorn frappuccino or something like that. It was pink and purple and it had swirls in it and glitter on top and all this crap. And everybody made this post and the thing was like a big calorie bomb. It was like, I don't know, something crazy, 800, 900 calories for like a small drink. And these kids were drinking it over and over and over again. It looked really cool. It was like an Instagram, take a picture thing of it. It was all fancy, decked out. But essentially, it was just like drinking a milkshake for breakfast. And these kids were having it every single day. And I made a post about this. And I said, you know, if you have one of these things or your kids have one of them, because it's the cool thing when it comes out, celebrate that moment, that occasion. But if, you know, that's not going to be the be all end all. If you have one and then you get right back on track, fine. Great. Everything's probably going to work out perfect. But if you're the person that goes through the drive-thru every single day and orders the unicorn, sprinkle, glitter, whatever sugar bomb, it's going to be really, really tough to see some results in the gym. And the same thing goes with anything that you do in life, guys. It's what we do over and over and over again that are going to steer us in a positive direction or a negative direction. So if this was a one-time thing, whether it's Father's Day or whether you had a wedding or an event over the past weekend, shake it off, get right back on track, and get right back to doing what you were doing that worked 9 times out of 10. And like I said in the beginning, our body hates when we're in this constant fluctuation phase where we're going from crash dieting to binging to parties to crash dieting to this. There's no happy medium with any of that, but it's what you can do consistently day in, day out that gives you that long-term progress, guys. So I know with a lot of us after Father's Day, men and women alike, because you guys are celebrating with us too usually, we get on the scale and we go, crap, I was working my butt off. I was losing. All of a sudden I had this day that didn't go according to plan and the wheels fell off and I'm up 3 pounds. Odds are you didn't gain 2 or 3 pounds of straight just fat overnight. That's really, really hard to do. I mean, I'm sure if you stuck your mind to it and had like a man versus food event, you could probably knock out some calories. But for the common person, you probably didn't gain 2 or 3 pounds of fat overnight. You're probably bloated. You're probably retaining some water. But the way to do that, guys, is to follow those steps that I just told you about. So drinking your water, get a good sweat going. Make sure the following day you're focusing on higher protein, lower carbohydrates, all that leftover stuff, guys. I know that a lot of us, we feel bad pitching it or we feel bad throwing it away, but take it to a neighbor's house. If it's stuff that you know is not going to be on your diet, you know, it's like a you versus you battle because you go, yeah, I'll take some leftovers. Yeah, I'll take some of this. And you put it in your fridge. And then every time you open that fridge, it's looking at you. And then you close it and it's looking at you. And if you do this, let's say 4 or 5 times a day, every single day, eventually you're going to have a quick, weak moment where you go, I'll just have a couple bites of this. And then the next day comes, I'll have a couple bites of this. And then before you know it, you're like, crap, my one day holiday or my one day special occasion has turned into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row of eating how I shouldn't be eating. So that leftover stuff, take it to a neighbor's house. If there's some kids that are off for school and they're full of energy and you got some leftover cookies and stuff like that or cupcakes, give it to the kids. Let them go burn it off. But you guys know as we get later in life, that stuff just doesn't sit well with you anymore. And you can't operate the same like you would when you were, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. Get rid of the temptation, guys. And I guarantee you it's 10 times easier to stay on track when you don't have that temptation staring at you in the face multiple times a day, every single time you open up your fridge or your pantry. So hopefully that helps you guys. And I know for a lot of us, we have fun on a holiday or we have fun on a special day, but it's the day after we beat ourselves up. We feel lousy about ourselves. And that's not a way to live. The purpose of being, again, a healthy individual is to do the things that you want to do in life, to enjoy those occasions. They're always going to come, and you shouldn't feel guilty by having fun as long as you can kind of keep it in the lanes, right? You're not going to wake up and pound 6 cupcakes in the morning and then go through the drive-thru and then order a pizza and then have a pie at the end of the day. you would feel like crap. You would feel like crap. So you have to make sure, okay, I can have some fun. I'm going to keep it in between the lines. And then the next day, I'm going to get right back on track with what I was doing. And that's how you have long-term success, guys. And if you know, just going forward and like preparing for a holiday or an occasion or a day that you know is going to be kind of celebratory, there might be some drinks involved, plan ahead. And I think with a lot of us, that's probably the biggest hang up for people is they're not planning for the event. And what I mean by that is leading up to this. So Sunday, I knew was going to be Father's Day. We'd be eating and drinking, just kind of whatever, celebrating the day with our family. So Saturday, reeled it in, hung out at home, didn't do anything crazy. We made some tacos. No drinks, no anything like that. Pounded water, no sweets, no sugar, kept it clean. Same thing on Friday. And then Saturday, okay, I bought myself a little bit of wiggle room for being really dialed in the past 2 days. Now don't be afraid to kind of enjoy the day and then get right back on track the next day. But with a lot of people, they go, hey, my cheat time is Friday or my cheat time is Saturday. So Saturday I'm going to do X, Y, and Z like I always do. And then I'm going to do it again on Sunday. And then I got leftovers on Monday. And what happens is you turn one meal or one 24-hour special occasion into a 48 or 72-hour all-you-can-eat fest. And you don't want to do it like that, guys. So if you know you have a special event coming up, whether it be on a Sunday or a Saturday, make sure leading up to that you're doing the stuff that you would normally do. So that way you don't have 3-4 days of over-exceeding your calories. And now it's just one that you have to worry about, especially if you get right back on track leading up to it. Also, guys, quick little cheat. If you're going to a party and there's going to be temptation everywhere. There might be some sweets, there might be some snacks, there might be some chips, there might be some drinks. My go-to thing is number one, again, hydrate all day. That's going to kind of trick your belly into feeling full. And then eat something that's protein heavy within an hour or two before you leave. And reason being that protein is going to take longer to break down. It's going to help you feel full for a longer period of time. So once you get to the event or the party, you're not just grabbing and going at anything. You're satisfied, you're feeling good. Maybe in an hour or two, you're going to have dinner or lunch or whatever it is. And then you can make some healthy decisions instead of being like completely famished and going, I'm not going to eat anything because I know when I get to the party, it's going to be chaos. You don't want to do it like that. You can have a couple small treats. Nothing's wrong with that. But what you don't want to do is be completely famished, make a giant plate of whatever the heck you want. You pound through it, you overeat, you're tired, you're groggy, and then the next day you're paying for it. So make sure leading up to that, guys, again, hydrate like crazy, trick your belly, fill up on some protein, and then if you have a little bit of sweets or a little bit of carbs, you know that you did the stuff before to kind of build yourself up some wiggle room over the course of the day. And we tell this with people that are doing our shred programs too. We do these weight loss programs for the gym or fat loss programs for the gym every other month. We have a group that's tapering down right now. And we kind of tell them the same stuff is focus on getting in your protein. That's going to help you feel full for a long period of time. And then if you have a little bit of wiggle room, don't feel guilty if you sneak, a cookie or an Oreo, as long as it's one, because you know that you did the stuff to keep under your calories for the rest of the day. What you don't want to do, again, is just have the wheels completely fall off. There's no game plan. There's no prepping. And that's where people begin to get into trouble. So if you are feeling crappy, let's say today or yesterday or the day before, and you're like, I did it again. I went to a party. I gained all this weight back. I'm here to tell you, relax, take a deep breath. You didn't gain a bunch of fat overnight. Focus on those things. Get a sweat going. Get some water going. Eat your protein. Hydrate like crazy. And I guarantee you, in 24 hours, you will be damn near right back to where you were. But don't reinvent the wheel. Don't blow up what was working. Don't try to ping pong everything. Like I was telling you, do what worked 9 times out of 10. Get right back on track. And if you have a day that you just have to kind of recalibrate and get a little bit, focus on water, focus on your protein, it's 10 times easier to do that. And then just pick up right where you left off than going, oh my gosh, I'm starving myself. Let's binge. Let's not eat the next day. It's not a happy place to be living in those two extremes. So you want to find that sweet spot, guys. And if you can dial in that sweet spot, That's how you can kind of live your life without feeling guilty, whether it's a party or a holiday, and you can keep the wheels turning in the right direction. So hopefully that helped you guys today. I know with a lot of us, this is like the season of fun for a lot of us. The kids are home from school, there's barbecues, there's graduation parties, there's weddings, there's holidays. We got the 4th of July coming up pretty soon. And that's when people tend to beat themselves up and they go, oh my gosh, I did it again. What do I have to do to finally get this weight off? All you have to do is what I listed. Do those 4 or 5 things, and I promise you guys, you will have endless success for yourself. So hopefully that helps you guys. So a short and sweet one today with just myself. But like always, everybody, if you need help getting in protein or any type of supplement at all, if you head to core4supplements.com, guys, we got the best tasting stuff on the planet. We have green supplements, we have protein, we have collagen protein, we have vegan protein, everything you can want we have. We have deep sleep gummies, the whole 9 yards. Again, if you go to core4supplements.com, and the best thing is if you are a podcast listener or watcher, you will save 10% off of your entire order if you use the code word podcast at the checkout. The other great thing, if you spend over $100, you get free shipping on everything. So it arrives at your door, don't have to pay for shipping, and usually the podcast code will eliminate basically the taxes that you pay on it too. So if you want to get a bunch of stuff, save a bunch of money, use those 2 things when you go to checkout, guys, and that will save you some moolah. But that is all, people. Again, keep the wheels spinning in the right direction, guys. Do those things in between the lines. If you're feeling guilty after a holiday, take those things, write them down, put it on your fridge so you know if you have a crazy day, you know what it takes to get right back on track. But love you guys. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you will see both of us back here next week.